So today I have Andrew Larson in the shop. Andrew's a young full-time smith from Kentucky, first time visiting, and we've been butting heads over everything. Not really. Anyway, Andrew makes mostly blacksmithing tools full-time. Lots of bottom and top tools, tongs, hammers, the whole gamut. You can check him out on Instagram, Andrew Larson Blacksmith. Check out his website, buy some tools. Anyway, so he's going to help me make a bottom swage or two. I have this vintage, this is a 3/4 round bottom swage. This is a vintage half-inch top swage, and we're going to be making a half-inch version of this to match this top swage. This will be handy for all kinds of things, including making tenons. So, Andrew, what are we going to be doing first?
The first step is we have 1 3/8 round bar. In this case, it's 4140. So it's
but mild steel works fine.
Mild steel would work. 4140 is better. It's an impact-resistant steel, especially if you're going to be using this at any point with anything slightly cold material, especially if you were talking about shearing with it, I think. But anyhow, we need to take and forge a shank first, the shank to fit in the hardy hole like that. So we're going to start by pointing the bar and then forging essentially a tenon on the end of the bar to fit the hardy hole before we cut it off and upset the piece of steel in the hardy hole.
So upsetting, our bar is only 1 3/8 in diameter, so we'll need to collapse a section to create a bigger block. And yeah, are we going to try to do the offset thing to get it over to the edge of the anvil?
We can if you want to, but I don't
really care.
Yeah.
I don't really care.
It wouldn't be hard
the way it is. This is not the best design for that shearing.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Well, let's get to it. Are we getting close to hot?
Yeah, we've been hot. I'll get a little more.
I do have probably don't want to use it, but I do have a block.
Okay. Oh, that's probably just as good. That'll work too.
You want me
Ready?
to just leave it in there? Yeah. Ow.
Good. When we upset it, it will move a little bit here. A little lighter. I'm going to go up on the corners.
A little premature, sorry.
I'll mark it to cut here.
Here, let's use this, because that thing deforms easy.
I'm just going to mark it, but yeah. I think that will give us plenty of material.
All right.
Yeah, that'll be plenty of material.
Let's go for it. If I can find my hammer.
Don't start out too heavy.
Yeah,
That's too heavy. A little lighter. Read the material. It's lighter.
Just say lighter then.
Progressively lighter. And lighter. And lighter. Good. Now, as the director, I will upset this tool. That'll be it for this heat. typically in a class, this is 3 heats to upset the bell. That's typically what it would take.
That ain't hot enough. I really like to treat my anvil nice, Andrew.
That releases it.
Yeah.
small
My anvil's real
vibrations.
bad about the sticking.
Yeah, I noticed.
It's looking good, just needs to be a lot hotter. Do you need me to do anything to straighten it out?
No, I do all the straightening as a striker, or as the director, sorry. You don't want to overcool it, as we will just chip pieces off into the camera. I'll set it. Let me straighten it here.
This, folks, is why your anvil needs to be tied down really good. He's moving that whole stump and it's 3 feet in the ground. Shank looks perfect, Andrew. One of the worst, well, let me say one of the most painful burns I ever got blacksmithing was after forging like 4 Swage blanks in a row in that anvil. And then reaching across the anvil in a t-shirt to pick something up off the floor.
Yeah.
Right there on the inside of my arm in my tender spot.
The colder it is, the worse it burns, I think.
Yeah. I don't know, but...
As in, like, 1,000 degrees or 800 degrees or...
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
Hurts worse than...
In a given amount of time.
Hurts worse than
it's like
2,000 degrees.
If it's super hot, it just cauterizes the...
Yeah, it just kills the nerves.
If it's charcoal, you can't feel it.
Ready?
Now, why bother with that when you're gonna
just to keep the top
square
clean.
the thing up?
Just to keep the top clean. So if it fish lips, it fish lips evenly instead of one side more.
Makes sense.
All right. So next, I think what we'll do, I'll have you just hit it at first. Instead, not now. Next heat, I'll have you hit it first instead of using a flatter.
Yeah. And we went over the horn a few times when I wanted to be a little less aggressive.
Yeah.
That's nice and toasty. Sorry. Not the world's best blow.
Good and hard. One hit here lighter. Perfect.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine. Okay. Now I'm going to put this in.
I have a tendency to overcompensate for the tendency to not hit the tool square.
Yeah. Light hits to tap it down. Hard.
Leaning towards you.
Yeah.
We ought to be able to compensate for that with
Light. Yeah, we'll compensate.
dressing. Oh, it's not as bad as it
No,
looks
it's not.
from my side.
All right.
Beautimous.
So an important thing when forging like this is we want to do the same on both sides. So if I take 2 hits on this side, 1 and 2, I want to do the same thing on this side, 1 and 2. So I'll make sure everything is dropped on the floor and evenly forged. So I think the next we'll drive it in.
Sounds good.
So one important thing when you're forging anything, no matter what it is that before you ever take the piece of steel out of the fire, you know exactly what you're going to do and have your tools set up to do it. Here we've got all the tools we want to use set up and ready, as well as the brush sitting on the anvil there. And I'm sure you
So you've got the brush for scale, obviously, the calipers for measuring, the round bar that we're going to use to start fullering the groove, the tongs to hold the round bar,
and a top swage.
and the top swage to finish the job. So everything is at hand and ready to go.
And we know exactly what we're going to do.
Except I don't know where my piece of clean round bar is that I'm going to use to finish.
We won't finish. Well, here it is right here, I think. Is this it?
That's it.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know you were
that?
going to use a clean piece. All right, here we go. This should just... All right, you ready?
Yeah.
So the first thing I'm doing here is I'm going to clean this off so we're not forging scale into the work. First hit needs to be pretty light. Or not too light. It just needs to be...
You may just have to kind of eyeball the
Good.
relationship. I also have a half-inch fuller if you want to start with that.
I think this will be fine. So I'm going to take and keep the scale
out.
Brush out so we're not forging scale into this. You know, this is forge to finish. We're not going to grind this to finish. We're not going to be doing any of that. We're forging this to finish, so we want it to be as clean as possible as forged. How deep do you want it to where it contacts?
I want it to match.
Okay. You want it to contact.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it. Look good?
Yeah, man. Nice and beefy. Do you think it's full contact?
It should be.
Set it in there.
Or should be pretty darn close.
Oh, that's been beat on. Nice.
It's been beat on by that thing, I think.
No, I don't think that's what I'm saying.
Okay. We could go back if you wanted. It's pretty darn close.
Let's go a little more.
Okay.
Because I know if anything, the hot is going to shrink.
You know, it's once you hit this once, it just deforms it enough that
Yeah.
that's the problem. So if you look here on the anvil, you can see this full contact mark all the way around it. And the reason that is because we have full contact on the anvil with the bottom of this tool. With a tool like this, you want a lot of contact on the anvil so it doesn't damage your hardy hole, around the hardy hole. If there's not much contact, it can dish your hardy hole if your anvil's a little soft, chip corners off, etc.
It's also just more efficient because the force is being transferred into the anvil better. The anvil's backing it up better.
Right. Also, the very last hit on a tool like this needs to be from the top. The very last hit you take, not from the sides, but from the top so that it's perfectly flat against the anvil. And hitting it, the last hit being from the top ensures that it's flat against the anvil. There's no pieces sticking down that could dig into your anvil. You know, but most people, you know, and this is somewhere where we completely agree too, is that a lot of people would take a small wheel attachment and clean this out after making it, and there's no point. And it's not showing skill. Forging something to finish is showing skill.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's like knives. This will be controversial. Forge thick, grind thin. It's showing skill at the grinder, not in forging. You know, that's not being a bladesmith to me. You know,
Yeah.
Being a bladesmith is forging something to finish, or very very close to that.
Yeah.
All right, this should be about.
My idea of a good blade forging is one in which basically you only have enough material to grind it, to get it bright.
Yeah.
You only have enough material after forging for it to be bright with no pits when you're done grinding.
Yeah.
That's spoken from somebody who doesn't forge blades.
Well, that's what the Sheffield knife makers did for the
right.
most part.
It was all about conserving material, which now material's the cheapest part of the process anymore.
Right. All right, ready?
Where do you want me, this side or that?
That side's good because we've already made it even and we're not changing the dimension. Long tongs. All right. I'm going to brush it out in between because there is scale forming. I'd say that's it.
I think it is too.
Want to touch mark it?
Yeah. You got your touch mark?
I do, yep. Touchy mark. Okay,
It's got to be in
let's
your
do
left
this.
hand.
So like this?
Yep. If it's in your left hand, it'll be right.
I'm going to
It'll
put
be
it
correct.
right here. Oh, look. It's a touch mark. We just ruined the whole thing with that touch mark. All right. You want to hit mine, but not nearly that hard?
Sure.
I got to hold it in my right hand. Let me square up here. You just got to hit it like barely, not too hard. Go ahead. One more, just wait. Okay. On not flat surfaces, it doesn't stick well.
All right, put it back in there. We'll do one more lick with the rod.
Yeah.
Did it get it? Do we need to give it another lick?
No, it's good.
Okay.
We're just taking these hits here because we've touch marked it from the side, and it could have very barely.
We want to make sure it's seated good and make sure the...
Let me get the tongs for this. They're on the forge over here.
The tongs?
Oh, okay. Well, we can do it that way too. Yeah, that's good.
That's good. Okay, now one last thing before you take it out.
So you always put it in the same way?
Yeah, it's my hardy hole is... Oh, it's not even seated, Andrew.
It's not?
No, it's not. Get that piece of rod back.
Where'd it go? Here it is.
It's still not... We're going to have to take another heat. Dadgummit. I'm telling you, my hardy hole
That's
is
what it is,
crooked as
isn't
all
it?
get out.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm used to straight good tools.
I know.
My goodness. Gotta buy those new anvils. So it should go this way then.
Well, yeah, you can also... Dadgummit. Yeah, I mean, it's very, very close. I can put another indexing mark.
You can put two.
I've actually started doing this lately. Of course, it'll, the top tool will booger it, but I've started doing some decorative, just a little bit of punch work on every bottom tool.
You're going to leave the shop on vacation for about a month sometime, and you're going to come back and not remember which way it goes.
I think I'll be able to remember that. The arrow.
No, it's the alligator. He's pointing this way. His mouth.
Get your dirty boot off my anvil. So, do we need to like talk about what we're doing before we do it?
We're forging a tenon.
This is just one of the many things we can do with this tool.
Make sure you move your head back a little bit.
I shall do so.
Otherwise, you don't have to if you don't want to.
Lighter.
I was going to read the material now.
I'm probably going a little too far.
I think it's worth noting how you're making it round. You take square, take off the corners, make it octagon.
We could have done that in one heat easy.
Yeah.
I think I took it a little too far, but I'm not sure. I haven't made any tenons like this before.
Really?
I don't think so. This is like literally the first set of matching swages I have. I'm going to finish this off. I think it's bottomed out now.
Yeah.
Okay, now see if it fits in this 1/2-inch bolster. Where did my hammer go?
Is your 1/2-inch bolster oversized?
Make sure I don't rivet it in there.
Yeah, there you go.
Look at that. There's a little cricket at the end.
You want to hit it with flatter?
Good. It's fine. And there it is. So that's just one of the things that you can do with this tooling. A matching top and bottom swage. Just like that. You get a very, very precise round shape very fast. Now I just need you to come back and help me make a full set. Nice. Nice. I really need a 3/8 next.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, I know you got to hit the road pretty soon. It's been fun.
Yep.
It's been
Yep.
fun.